What does it mean to be an influencer? It often refers to internet celebrity or key opinion leader. In the world of thriving live streaming e-commerce, influencers can sometimes be the trendsetters, tapping into society's undercurrent and creating waves.
但内心也是感到幸福的，因为今天晚上呢，我不能说是一场文学盛宴，但至少它是一次非常有意义的思想碰撞。
A typical Tuesday evening and a typical sales event. Dong Yuhui, one of China's most followed sales influencers, hosts the live streaming sales debut of one of modern China's oldest and most renowned magazines, People's Literature.
在这里有读者有优秀的作家，有全行业几乎是最顶级的主编。
今天来到这个直播间现场，给人感觉是来寻亲来了。
For years, People's Literature had been seeing its readership fall. That Tuesday, 9 million viewers tuned in to watch Dong Yuhui interview noted writers who weighed in on the significance of the magazine. The outcome? Nearly 1 million issues, over 82,000 annual subscriptions snapped up within 4 hours. And the enthusiasm continues to rise. It was a seemingly miraculous synergy between classic literature and the sales influencer effect.
我们来寻亲，也想找到更多能够和我们产生共情的这样一些读者们。你们的阅读对我们来说不仅是鼓励，同时呢，也是一种指引。
That was my privilege to introduce people's literature in front of screen. The outcome was surprising to everyone.
找到那个亲人的那种感受是又复杂，其实是又欣慰。人民学这样的精心办的一份杂志，它必然有好读者和好刊物之间能够相会。我们现在走向文化强国这个时代其实是需要我们有更好的精神食粮。人们难道就不看纸质书了吗？不是的，就是怎么能够抵达他们。我们通过这次直播，发现其实这个渠道是存在的，不仅存在，而且它还比较强大。借助于爱书人读书人所建的这样的一些频道，他们搭起了一个非常好的这样一个桥梁，使得我们像人民学杂志这样的所谓的严肃文学能够跟这些读者相遇。
Founded in 1949, People's Literature was the magazine that defined literacy culture. It was a household staple back in the 80s and 90s, and to this day remains a goal for aspiring writers. Their initial foray into live streaming has proven that with the right channel, a lost connection can be re-established, and good aesthetics always prevail.
读者都奔向杂志。
Erudite would be a fitting label for Dong Yuhui. Though starting from the grassroots, his witty and knowledgeable style allowed him to rise to sudden fame in June 2022.
I used to be a teacher, an English teacher, for 8 years. So I defined myself as someone who spread the knowledge and what ambition, what mission they should to make for their future.
Many resonate with Dong Yuhui's advocacy for knowledge sharing and rational buying. His overnight success secured his employer eSpy a foothold in the fiercely competitive e-commerce sector. 2 years later, he transitioned from a host to senior partner. He now operates his own eponymous channel with a special focus on culture and literature, in addition to agricultural products and tourism.
In a sense, they have a common ground, which is benefit a person to a certain degree. Culture help people survive through the changes in history. It leads people, helps shape people, which is very important and essential to our spiritual world. I do appreciate the interview and my work. And I will try to do a lot more. After that interview, many other magazines came to find me, and we are discussing several interviews upcoming in the future.
Dong Yuhui is one inspiring story in a string of influential live streamers. Behind the spotlight is the backdrop of China's thriving live streaming e-commerce. Data from the first 3 quarters of 2023 suggests that the fast-growing sector accounts for nearly a fifth of China's multi-trillion online retail market, contributing to a 7.7 percentage point increase in the growth rate. Economics professor Zhang Geng thinks even the most powerful influencers wouldn't be able to make a wave on their own. It's the vitality of e-commerce that amplifies the influencer effect on live streaming and not the other way around.
Fundamentally, it's actually not new, other than this time it's moving on to a new platform. It's a new media platform with much larger audience. And on top of this, you have this, adding the personal charisma. I think the question is whether this can be sustainable or not. I mean, the internet has this fad factor. It comes very fast, it goes away also very fast. I don't think we should pay too much attention to what's happening to a particular person at the particular moment. I think the issue is whether if it's a long-term thing.
文学所背后的故事是更加宏大的。
The jury is still out on sustainability. But at this moment, there is no denying that live streaming influencers are driving traffic and making a significant impact. Two areas in particular are the agricultural product sales and cultural heritage branding. Two areas also encouraged by the Chinese government.
Traditionally, agricultural products are very difficult to be sold because of the high cost in the distribution channel. But all of a sudden now, this can be sold online. The cost of moving goods from the fields, from the farmer's market to the consumer's home is greatly shortened. So I think this is a very revolutionary model here in China. And I would anticipate this kind of experience probably will be replicated overseas as well.
我们其实跟众多的头部的达人和网红呢都有过深度的合作。直播能够带给我们最直接的就是它有非常强的带货属性，可以很快的去触达到更多的用户。这件事情意义的本身是我们为了更好的去传播和着力中华文脉，通过和产品的结合，赋予到产品本身，连接更多的用户，去创造更好的创新性以及创造性。
Reports suggest in 2023, 60% of Chinese consumers interact at least once a day on streaming platforms, with a daily average of 2 hours browsing time. And in the first 3 quarters of 2023, the number of registered live streamers was over 3.3 million, way up from a year before. Consumer psychology expert Wang thinks the growing popularity of live streaming sales and its influencer effect can reflect a hidden need for companionship in an increasingly isolated society.
Well, product and services are the explicit reasons why they go for these live streaming sessions or space. But then when you actually look a little bit deeper, it's really about that emotional attachment, that sense of companionship. The relations with other people is really lacking these days. So what can we do when we feel like we cannot really relate to other people in our real life closely and deeply? We're trying to find another channel that can really satisfy our need to relate to other people.
A channel for material and spiritual fulfillment. That leads me to wonder what Dong Yuhui's popularity signifies.
His overnight sensation, if the environment is the foundation and his knowledge and personality are the prerequisites, then what's the trigger?
He definitely brought to the scene a different style. Before him, we're seeing this kind of a rampant naked commercialism. These influencers trying to push very hard on things they want to sell. So I think there's a certain pushback. Consumers are probably a little bit fed up with this kind of a naked consumerism. They don't want to feel like being taken advantage of, I guess. So Dong brought a new style, sort of easygoing, more amicable kind of atmosphere on the scene. And I think this fresh air lights up the audience, and people are very enamored with his style.
But I think it's really their coping strategy in the face of such a fast development. Because when everything develops so fast, you really don't have time to take a pause, to think, and to reflect what you do. And I think with Mr. Dong, with his extensive knowledge, he does present a way that conveying a message to the audience that you've got a choice. It's about really have a bit more connection with yourself. And through understanding the projection that you have been projected onto the host will actually help you to understand yourself better in regards to what you need and what you want in life.
The impact of influencers extends far beyond sales. For Dong Yuhui, with fame comes responsibility.
The previous literati in history told you that if you are still poor, please manage your life very well. But if you have the chance to do something, benefit yourself and others. I don't think I'm an influencer currently. If you want to be an influencer, you need to pay too much attention to what you are trying to spread, what kind of values, what kind of knowledge. Because if people adore you, people will learn to be you.
In that earlier interview with CGTN, the live streaming icon humbly asserted that he did not think he was qualified as an influencer. He believes one needs to have practical contributions to society to deserve the title. Months later, with his own new channel swiftly topping the live streaming leaderboard, I asked him the same question.
Do you consider yourself as an influencer now?
I'm still struggling to persuade myself to take that title. I don't take anything for granted. Well, in English, influence usually means something positive. I'm still not sure whether my work is positive or negative. To be honest, the truth takes time to reveal itself, and we are still struggling in the present moment. So I think time will tell, and the future will give me the answer. I don't take the answer myself. Whenever we enter a new area with technology improvement, we adapt to a new lifestyle very fast. We still need to think over and over. We need to meditate on ourselves. We need books, we need stories to ponder, to find ourselves through the stories.
An effect is a result of different forces. Perhaps this is what it means to be an influencer. Leveraging reach to channel, direct, and reflect changes of society. After all, while influencers can sometimes be trendsetters, it's the undercurrent they tap into that carries the waves.